bad matchup, but characters that do all right against. I think Dhalsim does well because he can zone him really well. I think Chun-Li does well because she can control the ground, so he can't just rush for free at her. I think Old Sagat does well until Boxer gets beat her.
But he's a pretty good all-around character. Like he can win.
I think Dee Jay is probably one of his worst matches.
Really interesting. Yeah, I was gonna. By the way, that turnaround punch. We were talking about that whole macro thing. Like,
Yeah.
on that turnaround punch, can he link his super off of it?
If it's meaty, yeah. If he knocks you down and does turn around punch meaty, he can combo off.
Really?
Yeah.
By the way, how much damage does it do if you hit it if you hold it down for like a really long time?
For a final turnaround punch?
Yeah.
I think it's about half-life. Hella.
And you can link his super off of that?
Yeah. If you want to hold on for a second, I can look it up. The damage.
What? Wouldn't that be just about almost death if he manages to link that?
Yeah. I don't know if you saw my Volume 9 that debuted at EVO, but there was a 100% Boxer combo with final turnaround punch, jab, low jab.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the video of that.
It's online. NKI.combovideos.com. Go get it.
Really? Did I miss it?
I don't know. It came out at EVO. Did you miss it?
I don't know. Let me check. I got you on my bookmarks.
I'm gonna look that up too because I don't remember that one, man. That's crazy.
Well, it gets lost pretty easily in the midst of all the glitches because it's just a normal combo. It does 100%.
Which video is this again?
Sorry?
Which video is this again?
Volume 9, Evolution 2006 special.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I saw that. Yeah. That was with all the ST stuff for DC?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Final turnaround punch does 58%.
58%.
Yeah.
Sick.
So
According to the Yoga Book Hyper.
So you can, you can link that into a jab into like his super, and that pretty much will kill you.
Well, here's the thing. That setup that I used in the video was totally impractical, and you'll never get that in a rematch. But if you knock someone down like with a headbutt, a bull charge, then you can do meaty final turnaround punch.
Right. So what do you think of AfroLegends Balrog? Do you think that
It's good. That was actually one of the times I made matches before that, but he was always Dee Jay when I saw him play. But his boxer is really good. Very impressed. He's real good at charge, faking out with the high rush, with full charge. He's got it down. The only thing, though, I did have one piece of advice for him. Not that I have a good boxer or anything, but when someone hits a super, like, or Chun-Li, I think against Dee Jay, you can also do it. If he's charged down, on reaction, he can just do fierce full charge when he sees super free. So, like, if he's stuck blocking, Ryu is within range, and Ryu just does the super raw, just full charges.
really?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Wow. I was going to ask. By the way, what? I know that tiers in Super Turbo is not about tiers; it's more about the matchups. But what would you say is like the top 5 characters in Super Turbo? I'm only asking this because the game is coming out in about a month and a half. A perfect arcade port of it.
Yeah. Top 5, I would say, is Boxer, Old Sagat, Claw, Dhalsim, and I don't know. It'd be hard to choose number 5.
It's probably split between a few people.
Yeah. Ryu's pretty good all around. I think Chun-Li's pretty good all around. Dictator's also pretty good. But they all have some bad matches, too.
By the way, how about my boy T-Hawk?
T-Hawk is probably second worst in the game.
Oh, God.
I mean, even if you watch someone play who is almost perfect in their execution, it doesn't even matter if you never get that chance to get in and spin them around, because they can just keep you out.
But what makes T-Hawk so bad though? I don't get it though.
It's a couple of things. For some reason, they decided that he shouldn't have the same number of pre-jump frames that Zangief has, which is why it's so much harder to do standing 360 with T-Hawk than it is with Zangief, because T-Hawk he actually gets off the ground faster. So that sucks. That's why you sometimes just get random jumping moves. His normals are just terrible. He can't really play footsies at all. He gets owned by the whole cast.
Oh.
And he just doesn't have a good way to get in. Like if his dive was not punishable and not so obvious, he would be good if he had some way to get in. But he's just got nothing.
Wow.
I mean, you literally just either have to get lucky, or just be really good at guessing.
By the way, where does Dee Jay fall in the scheme of things?
Dee Jay, I think, is really underrated in America. He's probably top of the middle tier if I had to stick him somewhere.
Isn't he like a poor man's Gal though?
Well, kind of. But I think Dee Jay has much better normals than Guile does.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Both jumping and ground.
Why? I mean, do you have any reason? Why is it because he's a Negro that no one plays him?
Yeah, that is the reason, actually.
No, it's kind of funny though because I remember. Okay, not to say that Game Pro is gospel, but I remember when they released a Super Turbo guide, they listed like some of the best characters in the game.
Uh-huh.
They had Dictator on there. They had Vega on there, and they had Dee Jay on there as well. I mean, I don't remember all the statistics, but they and they had Dial Seam up there. So actually the list wasn't so bad considering how Game
Dee
Pro.
Jay's good, but I don't think I would put him in the top tier. He's not that good.
I mean, I don't know either. I mean, but it was like really interesting though because they said that he has really good. What would they say? He had really good normals and stuff, and his max out was had really good speed on it and stuff like that, and he has really good damaging combos. But
yeah,
I was just thinking that. I was going to ask a question about that.
Well, let's not forget though that this is the same magazine that offered the pro tip: throw a fireball, and if they jump, uppercut. I swear to God, that was a real pro tip. I actually read that in Game Pro.
Wow. Well, apparently they didn't have. Apparently, I guess only played Street Fighter maybe 3 or 4 times. While he was playing against a computer. I remember I used to use that tip when I first played Street Fighter. I tried to use that tip, and then when I played against somebody, I think I was playing Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and then some dude had Vega, and I was playing against them, and I was doing the whole thing, and I was throwing fireballs and up in the air. I did an uppercut, but since Vega jumped so fast, he just jumped over the fireball, and and the uppercut whiffed, and he just like throws me like every time, and I was getting really frustrated. So, but let me ask you a question. I asked this question to someone. I think I asked this to Alex. But what if someone was trying to pick up Super Turbo? What characters would you suggest they start out with? As far as learning the game.
Well, if they really have absolutely no preference at all, I would say that Claw is probably one of the easiest characters to play effectively.
Mm-hmm. So
Claw or Old Sagat, but if you have a preference, if you already have a character that you like, I say go with that character.
Okay. By the way, I hear someone just asked me a question. They said that is it true that you don't like hyper fighting?
I don't know if I would say I don't like it, but it has problems, and I don't see why everyone praises it as the best fighting game ever. I really don't.
What do you think is wrong with it?
Dizzies and damage. People complain in SP that supers are too powerful, like one move does 50% or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at hyper fighting, the same thing can happen. You get randomly dizzy by one move. You make one mistake, you're going to lose a lot more than 50% in hyper fighting.
So you think the game was like too random? With the
the randomness factors into it, but it's the dizzies and the damage that kill it for me.
By the way, did you get a chance to play that Alpha Anthology yet?
Yeah, actually I did.
What did you think? By the way, did you get a chance to play Alpha 2? Is it arcade perfect?
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if it's a known issue or if it's just my stick or what, but I've actually tried 2 different Hori sticks, the real arcade parts,
Mm-hmm.
and neither one of them, I don't know how to describe it other than it's just so hard to do special moves. I don't know why. I get like maybe 1 out of 6 or 7. So it's hard for me to say. But other than that, it seems pretty good, or like pretty accurate. I would say it's probably the best home port.
Did you get any? Did you get the chance to play the hyper mode? I think you would love that mode because Alpha 2 is really good in that. Alpha 2 characters.
What's the deal with the hyper mode again?
I say, did you get a chance to play the hyper mode?
I mean, what's the difference with hyper mode? I'm not too familiar with the game.
Oh, just thinking of it as Anniversary Edition. You could play, Alpha
where you can choose any version of the character?
Right.
Oh, yeah. I think it's a great idea, but from what I heard, it just didn't work out very well.
I don't know if the game got a fair shake because the tournament was kind of haphazard, and I mean, and the game has only been out like 3 months before Evo, before they had their little contest. I think the Championship Edition characters need to be banned because 3 hits you dizzy and you lose 50%.
Yeah, I don't know. I just can't imagine that there was any kind of screening process where they like tested it for some like hint of balance. Because if you think about it, C characters do insane damage, insane dizzies. They can't be guard crushed. They don't have guard meters. I don't know. To me, like if you just see that on paper, like without even playing the game, it's like, whoa, hold on, we need to change one of these. But I don't know. I guess it slipped through the cracks.
Well, that could be true, but there are 20. Well, Toshin, you added that up, didn't you? How many stars does dip switch settings is it for Hyper Alpha? I think it has something like 27 or something. And
What was the question?
The dip switch settings for Hyper Street Fighter Alpha. There's on like there's like 26 or 27, and they only know what 5 or 6 stars do.
Oh, really?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like one of the stars you could turn off the guard crush meter for the Alpha 3 characters.
Oh, that'd be helpful.
Yeah. So I thought that they kind of cheated the game. I mean, I know people say the game sucks, but I think that it didn't get a fair shake because first of all, they haven't figured out all the dip switch settings on the various games, on the various arcade modes. They haven't figured out what they all do. It's kind of messed up, but
that game came out in Japan.
Huh?
Did that game come out in Japan?
Yes, it came out in May.
Probably somewhere online they have a list of all the dip switches.
Really, that'd be kind of cool to see. By the way, would you like to see return the Alpha series to like Evo?
You mean in the tournament scene?
Yeah.
I think it would be cool. I like Alpha 2.
Right.
I don't care so much for Alpha 3, but I know a lot of people like it. But I think it would be nice to have a new game. Well, not a new game, but a different game in the lineup.
You think there'd be a large enough fan base for Alpha 2 where it can kind of support itself? We know Alpha 3 is
Just being honest, I don't think there would be. The last Alpha 2 tournament that I can even recall, I think, was at a Midwest, maybe like 2002 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And if I remember correctly, Alpha 2 had like 10 people or maybe less.
Wow.
So I don't know.
Wow. All right.
Hey, NKI, did you get your stick back yet?
Well, here's the thing. Tell me how that worked out. I lost my stick at Evo. I don't know what happened to it. And there was also one stick that somebody turned in as having been lost and found. At the end of Evo, nobody had claimed that stick, so I just took that to replace mine. Then when I got back home to St. Louis, Bacardi messaged me and said that somebody had my stick in New Jersey. I don't know how that happened. They left it there, but Bacardi's stick got stolen at the same event. So I said to him, you can just keep my stick since I got a replacement at Evo. So I don't know whose stick from Evo. Bacardi has my stick, and Bacardi's stick is missing in action.
So, yeah, by the way, the stick that you have, it doesn't say Preppy on the bottom, does it?
Oh, no.
What kind of stick do you have, NKI?
It's just a standard green Hori PS2, the real arcade parts, and it has my name on the bottom.
By the way,
nice.
The stick, Nick, do you still got that big black stick that I don't know if it wasn't a black stick. It was a big black board or box that you had. It was a really
the one that I made.
Huh?
The one that I made.
Yeah.
By hand.
Yeah.
I don't think it was black.
what? Maybe it wasn't. No, that was Kid. That was black. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Did you make Kid?
No, I actually sold that one. I sold it about a month ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Man.
You mean that huge one? It's like 25 pounds, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That stick
The
ain't
wood-
going nowhere.
The wood's like almost 2 inches thick.
Yeah, I thought that's what you call, yes, that's what you call overkill. But man, that
Well,
stick won't move.
I didn't want it to move.
Uh-huh.
That's why I made it so heavy. I didn't want it to move while I was playing.
All right. I didn't know you played with Horus, but that's kind of cool.
Actually, yeah, I prefer Hori.
By the way, did you get it since you made sticks? What did you think? Have you tried out any of Finkel's stick while you was at Evo?
Any what sticks?
There's this guy. He's been making sticks for the last, I guess, a year or so. His name is Finkel.
Finkel?
Yeah, he's on that.
Check the trading outlet for him.
Yeah,
Okay.
he made quite a few sticks, and you should see the design of them. They're professional. It's really nice sticks. I was wondering if you ever got a chance to play on them because
No, I
had a
haven't.
couple.
I haven't gotten
okay.
a chance to play on it yet.
Yeah, he had a couple of Evo, and then people was
Yeah.
saying good things about it. But all right, well, all right, man. I'll let you run because I know you're tired. And,
Okay.
And thanks for coming on. And again, well, we'll probably try to get you back when it comes out, when Super Turbo comes out in November.
Sounds good. All right. Take care, man.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Bye.
Bye. I just peeping at your vids again, man. Excellent work. First of all, let me give you the hats off to you, man, because I mean that was great, man. I mean, you was telling me before you did these. You told me that AfroLegends was the real deal. Yeah, man. I concur now.
Yeah. So, he's basically from the 20-something matches that we had. You can kind of tell how the level of casual turned into serious, and then how changing the characters can also change the mindset. How a player is going to have to readapt to the situation. So basically, I gave him, or I'm trying to show. Well, I'll comment on this on future things, but it's like the basic formula to define a great player. First is being able to adapt, innovate, and then obviously execute.
Mhm.
And he did that. I mean, he freaking pretty much mopped up my roof for quite a while. I adapted a bit and had to change up. He did it again, and I'm like, okay, he's catching on. So all right, let's switch up the tempo a bit, and I picked Champion Edition Sagat,
Mhm.
and then it rolled up on him,
Mhm.
and then what he rolled up back on me.
Mhm.
So I mean, you can tell those are two of my main characters that I use, like tournament, and this kid, second tournament, places final 8 this year's evolution.
Mhm.
I mean, there you have it, dude. He deserves his spot. Deserve his spot, dude. And I'll comment like more thoroughly once this thing is up and going, and that's what everybody's waiting on, actually.
Right.
The matches is one thing, but you freaking I'll dissect somebody's game to a T. And you know what's gonna be funny is that some of the people that are like playing and they're gonna hear me talk, they're gonna be like, no, I wasn't thinking that. But then when you replay the clip and you're like, oh, okay, maybe.
Yeah.
That'd be maybe.
Right. We was talking earlier about, how people were kind of analyzing how you were playing, and they were saying that, I wouldn't have done that, and you should have done this different and everything, and I was like, that's funny, but as I tell everybody, hindsight is 2020. It's one thing to say. I mean, you can critique anybody's, what anybody does after the fact, but in the heat of battle, I mean, it's just different. It's a different animal, and I mean, but if anything, it's gonna be good. I mean, this is what of course, what we wanted. We wanted to get some interest, and this is doing a great job. I think you're on to something. I can't wait to see more. Basically.
Cool, cool. And, I was thinking maybe I should do another casual match thing, put it up before I have somewhat of the beginning stages of the live stream. But man, I tell everybody out there, it took me. Okay, I started taping some of the stuff on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, and then I grabbed the tape. I tried to find a friend's house to to cap it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the equipment, so Thursday night after work, I had to go there. I went to Kim's house,
Mm-hmm.
and that took. Man, I didn't know that you had to. Not only you had to, put it in the computer, to cap it, and then you got to encode it, which plays it back. Like I'm like, what? You can't fast forward this shit? Because I'm like a dummy when it comes to all this shit, right?
Yeah.
I'm all telling him, dude, you got to encode. What the hell is that? And he's like, yeah, man, it takes a long time. I'm like, damn, and I have 2 clips, so. I was playing Kim CVS2 and Third Strike till that shit was over, and it finished up at 2:30 or 3 in the morning. All right.
Mm-hmm.
My computer wasn't on. I was like, all right, dude, we didn't know what to do with the footage yet because now we have to find somebody that can host it with that big of a file.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right, dude, I'm gonna go home. I told him I'm gonna go home and just send it to me. I'll turn on AIM and I'll just leave AIM on and just transfer this shit. And he goes, yeah, okay, I got the first file, but you got to stay up and, you got to stay on and wait for the second file. I'm like, oh, shit, I can't sleep. You know what I'm saying? So, and that was a big pain, too. I'm like, all right, fine, I got that stuff. And it's Friday, I'm off on Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up comfortably at 1 p.m.
Right.
And then now I'm trying to find somebody, anybody that's on IRC. Most people are probably working or whatever, but, I got a hold of Sub-Zero, Walter, like, hey, man, I'm going to go send you this footage and see if you can find somebody who can host it. He goes, oh, yeah, I can do that for you.
Mm-hmm.
He gets the first, I guess he gets AE, and then I don't think he found anybody to host it yet. He's, looking, and then I'm like, all right. Let me send you the other one, and then I couldn't get a hold of Sub-Zero anymore. So all of Friday, basically, I didn't know who to talk to host any of this stuff, man. And then finally I get a hold of you, and then that was what, Friday night.
Right. Yeah, that was Friday night.
Yeah, Friday night, man. I mean, yeah, I'm probably everybody's all like, man, you could have sent me this stuff. Oh, you could have sent me this stuff, man. I'm working on the fly here, bro.
Right.
Nothing is planned with me. I just do it. Fuck this planning shit. That it aggravates me to just sit there and think about the stuff. I think about it, I want to do it, man. It's like when you see a girl, you want to go fuck her, you want to talk to her, man. You go talk to her at least. Don't just be like, oh, goo goo gaga instead, and then just watch your friends clown on you. You know?
Right. Right.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I had problems myself because I couldn't upload it to the place I usually put my radio show because it kept on timing out on my ass.
Oh yeah, that's another thing I forgot to mention.
Yeah,
when I was
he was like,
this stuff to you, it kept timing out.
I was like, I was getting really, really pissed. I tried another upload service and it loses the file in the, like 25, maybe 30 seconds before the download was complete. Because it took me an hour to upload the Third Strike, and it took me about an hour and a half for the it took me about an hour for the AE, about an hour and a half for the Third Strike, and I was just getting done with the Third Strike one, and it freaking loses my file, so I lose my mind. But then since I look at my fair share of porn, and I noticed that when people want to get videos out, they use Mega Upload. I'm like, okay, then let me try Mega Upload. So, that's why I uploaded it at, and then it worked out just fine, And so, I mean, I'm just glad that it got out. Let me get the props out to MJ for putting it up, because he put up the first, and then he got the second one. He got the second one off of me, and I got, he got that one up as well. So let me give some props to MJ. Thanks for doing that for us.
Yeah, thanks, MJ.
Yeah, it was great matches, great footage, great play. The dude has one main Balrog. I mean, and I don't know nothing about FT or Anniversary Edition, but I mean, that has to be one of the best Balrogs I've seen. I mean, that was just great. And the guy, he finishes it, you know. So like watching some, you know, certain NFL teams. They do good, but then when it comes down to clutch, they freeze up. But he don't freeze up. That dude plays until he dies, if he does, you know. He does not freeze up, doesn't tense up. He plays, and there's been a lot of close matches between where he manages to get off that, you know, that throw, you know, or something like that. You know, you get that last sliver of life. You know, that dude, he's. I mean, AfroLegends. I'm gonna try to get this dude on the radio station here pretty soon because, I mean, that dude he was great. He was great. You know, I mean, I've never seen a baller like that. You know, to be honest with you, I mean, people can make an argument I haven't seen much of anything when it comes to AE, and they'd be right. But man, I mean, the aggressiveness, it's the real deal. I agree with you 100% on that point.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, you can imagine. Okay, you know, he's taking me out a lot of games, right?
Mm-hmm.
You put him on the floor with your everyday casual on Super Turbo. The guys who think they're good that never plays.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is gonna happen, dude? The scoreboard is gonna be like 100-0 in a matter of maybe 20 minutes.
Mm.
I mean,
Right.
And none of the rounds will go round 3. I mean, there's no character in the game that can beat you that bad that fast. I mean, the paper scissors rocks ABC option is in a matter of a half a second.
But by the way, for those of us who are not familiar with Super Turbo and AE, I mean, Balrog, I know Balrog is in, you know, he's one of the best in the game. So, which character is his worst matchup?
He doesn't have any bad matchups. I mean, you can say there are some that keep him at bay.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Hondas or the Bisons, you know, because they got safe moves to, you know, they got also safe moves. Any character has like safe rushing attacks.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty damn good.
Right.
But their weakness is they don't have a good reversal.
Mm.
Except like Honda, he sort of does because he got you can store his old chi throw, the throw where he slams you on the ground and he sits on you.
Right.
But you can still do media attacks and bait that. And I mean, there's ways around it. You know, Balrog's probably like one of the only characters that can attack for free all day long with the low slide attack. You know, that's an instant knockdown. And then it's like he has 50-50 meaty ticks.
Mm.
You know, that's what AfroLegends was doing. I mean, you can even if you react to it sometimes. I mean, it eats up your short coming out, your forward. But like if I were to say who would be like a counter to Balrog, if I were to pick one, one of them to mine is the Super Turbo version of OG Sagat, because that's a character where you actually have to, you know, you need the timing of you need to know the timing of his fireballs coming at you. Because I can throw roundhouse fireballs all day long and just change the timing of the roundhouse fireballs.
So you
I'll
can
throw
never
one.
get through.
I'll throw one and I'll hesitate and I'll throw another one, or I'll throw 2 consecutively. I don't even have to throw like short or forward ones.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like the Jeff Schaefer method. He goes, I don't care. I'm like, I'm gonna throw crouching roundhouse fireballs, tiger shots at you. What you gonna do? I'm gonna jump over. I'm gonna throw another one. It's gonna knock you half screen. Then what you gonna do? I'm gonna jump over again. Well, then I can fierce you.
Right.
You know, it's like that simple, but it's like mindless. You know. I mean, Dalsim is a pretty good counter, but then see Dalsim. See, what people have to know about Dalsim is you have to know every matchup.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's not Yoga Fire standing forward all day. That's Street Fighter 2 World Warrior tactics.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, then you need like all new defensive pokes versus Balrog, because once he gets in and he has super, you can't. I mean, everything you do is shut down. You know, but you know, a high level play also is good against Balrog.
Mm.
And I mean that would be about it, man. I mean, Balrog holds his own versus any character. You know, every character still can win. You know, it's nowhere near as many options as Balrog has once he has that super or once he knocks you down. So.
That's another thing. His super. I mean, there's a lot of supers in that game that does crazy damage, but it's like if you do so much as stick out a low, let's say a slow short. I mean, he could punish just about anything. You know, if you stick out the wrong move, you know that's a super right in there. I've seen him do it. You know, I
Yep.
mean, and you eat it. I mean, it's bad. I mean, I just know. All I remember is just I watched a couple of matches where just a whiff move. It's obviously you know, you die.
Yeah, he's like Cable,
Mm.
you know, and he has freaking air hyper viper beam, man. You know, it's half screen, like more than 50%.
Can that super go through fireballs in the
Oh
beginning?
yeah,
Okay.
that's bread and butter right there, man. Bread and butter.
Nice. I mean,
Yeah.
does AfroLegends plays any other characters, or that's main?
Oh, and he's known for his DJ.
Oh, really? Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
You were telling me about
yeah,
that.
yeah. He's very well known for his DJ. So um, those two characters are okay. Balrog is really good to have on your your roster,
Mm-hmm.
but a unique character like DJ, he's like as I mentioned before, he's like the unknown. I mean, okay, fine, you fought against a DJ. It looks like some top tier player wants to fuck around with a low tier character. Wrong. He's like Guile, exactly like Guile. He has a flash kick and he has a sonic boom,
Hmm.
and he has pokes that have all his pokes have freaking enormous priority
Hmm.
or a lot of blocks. Then like he'll like jump around with jumping short early in the air, like jumping up straight up short. It's like a foot that goes all the way up, kind of like Bison's jumping short, goes all the way up and it lands, so that hitbox stays out there for the entirety of the move. And it's like it can lock people down in the corner. He has like some like just new ticks I've never seen, like new strategies of locking players down with funky moves. Since I don't really read up on at the time nobody read up on frame data. Let's be real here. Super Turbo. I mean, nobody reads about frames. There's like barely any frames in the game, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just seeing what you can react to and just timing. Timing was like the skill back in the days. It's like, yeah, you just gotta learn the timing. You just gotta learn the timing. That was like the excuse for like not knowing the frame. Oh, I know the timing. I can get it down every time. It's not really like, no, he jumped in with roundhouse. Typically, you are in a negative something for block stun, and he's a plus something. We don't. Now we say that because of like CVS2s and the new games, but back then, like, you just have to know the timing. So imagine some guy just throwing random moves at you,
Mm-hmm.
moves that you have never seen, like used that close and repetitive, and then the time you think you can attack, he'll combo you or he'll get a free throw.
I got a question to ask you. Based on what you've seen of AfroLegends with his Balrog and his DJ, you think that that can take him pretty far next year?
I'm sorry, say again?
Since you've seen both his Balrog and his DJ, you think that next year that can take him pretty far?
Yeah, definitely. He just, I think he was at Evolution. He was pretty cold.
Hmm.
I mean, he waited a long time to play.
Hmm.
I mean, we were sitting there. We were watching like Tekken 5 was before then, DOA.
Hmm.
And I mean, he didn't, practice that day. I mean, he should have been ready and prepared. And I told him, hey, dude, just, you're gonna play tomorrow, and just freaking relax.
Mm-hmm.
Just pretend it's casuals, because once you play him, dude, and you get all nervous, you're done.
Right.
I mean, you're done. You can react to any Shoto out there if he can match fairly well with mine. At the time, it was like just beating him left and right.
Mm-hmm.
He got some certain timings down where it was like frustrating to me because I was depending on him to fuck up.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
but so I think, and he plays other characters. Just like he messes around with them. Like, he wants to add Ryu to his lineup.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll probably use him next year. You never know. You never know.
Well, I'm happy though because it couldn't come at a better time. We got Super Turbo most likely coming back next year, and that's going to be of course, Super Turbo has always been um, one of the games that the Japanese have been very good in, and we always have trouble with, and it's good to see that we, even though that Evolution, the next Evolution is now for another 10 months, it's still good to see that, we're taking it seriously, and we're not just, hanging it up until May and then all of a sudden we're going to start playing and get serious about it. I'm glad that, people like you, or who thinks that, you got to practice, all the time, you got to make time for it. I mean, I really can't, I really can't wait. By the way, let me ask you a question. Considering that AfroLegends plays Balrog, what did you think about the prospect that that next year Evo might allow macros like they did this year, and with Balrog, that means that he could theoretically just hold one button down and charge that turnaround punch, and it wouldn't really impede his maneuverability. He'll still be able to work with, at least three different buttons.
Well, there's two sides to it. The OGs are gonna say that's skillless because they had to deal with holding three buttons for the past 15 years,
Mm-hmm.
and but the new school heads are be like, well, in the Alpha series they changed doing three button supers to one button supers.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you have an argument there. I'm like in between.
Mm.
I think it's pretty crazy, like giving Balrog something like that. That's like a free move for him, a free tick.
Mm.
It's pretty ridiculous to just have one button to charge that.
By the way, how much damage does it do if you hold it down like for the maximum?
So that's an NKI question.
Really? Okay, I'll ask him that because I'm kind of curious. I mean, what happens if he holds it for like 20 or 30 game seconds, and lets it go and he hits. And by the way, if that turnaround punch that can no, I don't know. I don't think that, I'm thinking this is the third strike or something. I would have to say, well, can he link his super off of that? Will it be in so much stun that he can actually? Because his super comes out pretty quick, and I guess it depends on how much delay is behind that turnaround punch. But it looks like that. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but I was wondering, can he recover fast enough that he can actually get a super off and still have it connect? Alex?
Oh, sorry, I was my bad, dude. I was answering a question on another window.
No, I was saying that his turnaround punch is it possible that you can link a super off of it? Because most of Balrog's move has really good recovery on him, and I can imagine that getting hit with a turnaround punch, that can put you in quite a bit of stun if you get hit.
Oh, okay. That's another NKI question. See, I don't use Balrog.
Okay.
I don't know the exact timing for all his links, except maybe crouching forward, crouching strong, which is pretty damn effective.
So, going to third strike for a second. I mean, what did you think about how that came out? As far as the bits.
Well, I mean, this is what happened. I mean, I was at my friend's pad, and we were waiting for Richard, aka Shogo, and Amir to show up. Okay, we were at my friend Luca's house since like 8:30. Richard, or Shogo, arrives at like almost 1 o'clock or something, a.m. Okay, AfroLegends was with me, so by the time they get there, I told him, hey, you know what, let's just tape me and AfroLegends played like, I don't know, 15 games or something, first 10 or whatever, which played. So, I mean, we wanted
you know, if I had a little bit more time to plan when he got there, what I was gonna do with it. 'Cause I didn't know if he was gonna connect it to the TV and have live feed, or he's gonna hold it. If he was gonna hold the camera in the camcorder. And, yeah, so he didn't bring a tripod or anything. So, you know, he just held it there, and we did it that way. And I wanted much more. You know, I was always want more. That's who I am. But I just, you know, I started playing. I'm like, okay, let's go play. Okay, just record. And because, you know, we're there already, and we finished at maybe like almost 3 o'clock. So, I mean, my roundhouse was kind of giving out on me, like, at the time then. We were playing quite a few hours before they even showed up, Richard and Amir. Yeah, and I'm thinking to myself, man, I mean, I know the games are going to be hot, you know, but I mean, you got me, Paulie, and Amir in a room playing Third Strike. And me and Amir placed in top 8 in Evo, so, you know, and I hope, you know, everybody critiques, and I want actual honest opinions, you know, even if it's like, so far it's been good, you know, but I want to hear the haters too, because that way, you know, if they're still at home next year, not showing up to tournaments, you know, it really, I mean, why are they posting? Well, we know actually why they're posting. They're complete attention, whereas the epitome of the plagues to our community. You know,
Right.
But eventually you'll have enough haters that will show up, and that's actually my plan. You know, I told you that earlier.
Right.
This is.
I mean, that's good. I mean, competition, you know, is how anyone gets better, you know. So if there's some, you know, if people think that you know, they want to put the bullseye on your back, I'm like, hey, dude, you know, I've seen you play, and I think that, you know, I think I can take you out. You know, that's great. You know, I mean, I think you would rather have that than thinking, oh, you know, I'm not going to even try. You're Alex Valle. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Sorry, I'm doing multitasking, as you would say. Multitasking.
You know, it's funny how there's so much talking on RSC, and I tell people to get Skype. You know, call in. I mean, this conversation should be taking place on the radio. I mean, these are good questions, good topics. Okay. Let me go ahead and stop here.